Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the report I am presenting today is about the people of Myanmar and their aspirations for a better future. Despite massive challenges, people from across society are striving to build a peaceful, sustainable, democratic and diverse Myanmar grounded in human rights. This report is about their vision of the future and about pathways to get there. These solutions are desperately needed because since my last briefing to this Council, the situation in the country has continued to deteriorate. On 28 March, a massive earthquake struck Myanmar, killing nearly 4,000 people, destroying large parts of the center of the country and leaving 6 million in need of immediate humanitarian assistance. In the wake of the tragedy, despite the announcement of several ceasefires, the military escalated its attacks, killing more than 500 civilians and injuring more than 1,000. And instead of increasing access to life-saving aid, the military doubled down on violence and restricted access even further. In many cases, airstrikes or artillery hit schools, religious sites and other protected locations. My office received reports that the military has launched more than 600 attacks since the earthquake, with over 94% taking place during periods covered by ceasefires. These stark figures mean the military have killed some 6,800 civilians since the start of the coup in 2021. More than 22,000 people are still detained and 172 were sentenced to death by military-controlled courts that do not ensure respect for judicial guarantees and fair trial rights. In Rakhine State, the situation remains dire, with Rohingya in situations of extreme vulnerability. Civilians are caught between the Arakan army and the military, who act with complete impunity. I am deeply concerned that civilians face a dire humanitarian crisis due to the military's blocking of wide-scale humanitarian support across the state. And across the country, the humanitarian situation is deteriorating. More than 3.5 million people have been displaced by conflict and nearly 22 million need assistance. An estimated 1.3 million people have fled the country to seek safety, often taking extremely perilous journeys. Nearly 1 out of 5 people attempting sea crossings in the region have been reported as dead or missing so far in 2025. Over 45 million people in Myanmar, 4 out of 5, live below or just above the poverty line. Mr. President, throughout all this misery, the people of Myanmar have demonstrated remarkable courage and resilience. Human rights defenders and media workers continue to shed light on violations despite tremendous risks. Religious institutions, civil society and community-based groups are working to provide health and education in the absence of state services. In protest against military rule, civil servants resigned en masse from public office and are helping establish alternative governance mechanisms. Women are at the forefront of pro-democracy campaigns and supporting the families of political prisoners. They are fighting to dismantle the patriarchal systems of the country and demanding representation in emerging institutions. Young people are also involved in their country's political future, helping establish local governance structures and humanitarian networks, and advocating for environmental protection. The report I am presenting today is based on consultations carried out by my office over several months with people from all ethnic communities across all ages and walks of life in Myanmar. They were united in one message, that the military must play no role in public life. People yearn for a peaceful, inclusive and democratic society grounded in accountability and human rights. Drawing on their views, the report before you today sets out 4 pathways to support these aspirations. First, pursuing accountability and justice will be crucial to a peaceful, inclusive and democratic Myanmar. The conflict is rooted in grave violations of international humanitarian and human rights law, killings, abductions, torture, arbitrary detention that have largely gone unpunished. Freeing all political prisoners and bringing all perpetrators of human rights violations to justice are key to reconciliation and the way forward. Ongoing proceedings at national and international levels are crucial steps towards accountability. I again urge the Security Council to refer the situation of Myanmar to the International Criminal Court. There are also many lessons to be gleaned from transitional justice mechanisms for Myanmar, including the importance of truth-telling, recognition of crimes, including violations against ethnic groups, and the need for reparation. Second, good governance and civic space. People told my office of their wish for a civilian-led, democratic society with representative and transparent local institutions. These structures need to fully respect diversity, equality, and human rights. It is also crucial to repeal laws that have long discriminated based on race, religion, and sex. This would be an important step to ensure the rights of many minorities, including the Rohingya. Promoting and protecting a vibrant civic space, including free and independent media, will be central to holding all those in power to account going forward. Third, the economy must serve the people of the country. For decades, the military has exploited Myanmar's economy and the country's rich natural resources for its own benefit and that of its patronage networks. Corruption and cronyism are entrenched. Ordinary people are impoverished. People displaced across borders told my office that they wanted to return to economic opportunities at home. So the way forward will require a radical shift towards an economy that can ensure people's rights are fulfilled, with investments in education, health, social protection, and inclusive policies on land and administering natural resources. I urge all partners, including private international investors and businesses, to work to make this a reality. Finally, sustained engagement at the regional and international levels is vital. This crisis must remain high on the political agenda, but I fear it has fallen off it. I repeat my call for an arms embargo, coupled with sanctions consistent with international law, including on jet fuel and dual-use goods, to better protect the people of Myanmar. I urge countries in the region and beyond to protect people from fleeing the conflict, including by rescue at sea and refraining from pushbacks or refoulement. Countries could consider providing longer-term legal status, in particular for the Rohingya, as the conditions for their return to Rakhine State still do not exist. Countries also need to explore creative options for humanitarian assistance across borders. Going forward, it will be important for the international community to engage with the National Unity Government, ethnic armed groups, and the democracy movement, including women's groups, youth, and civil society. Mr. President, it is imperative for the military immediately to end the violence, allow unhindered access, and release all arbitrarily detained people, as demanded, by the way, by the Security Council Resolution 2669. Amid the turmoil, planning for a future with human rights front and center offers people a sense of hope. We owe it to the people of Myanmar to make that hope a reality.